Hi, good people. This is Deborah. The name of this video, the topic of this video is bipolar means you have two poles naturally. I'm reading from my disclaimer. I've added my experience in it. I want to share my personal experience with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. I'm not a professional, but I have done much research and I have also personally struggled with finding the right treatment. Uh, I want to make it clear that I am not sharing my journey and what I have learned, especially about how spirituality has helped me when medication did not work for me. Bipolar disorder involves extreme mood swings from high energy to deep depression. Symptoms like hallucination, which I didn't do, delusion, which I didn't experience, and disconnection. I did experience some of that. Um, from reality characterizing schizophrenia. These conditions can be challenging, and treatment can vary from one person to another. I have tried several medications, mood stabilizers, you name it. Many did not work for me, and some even ever worsen things. I want you to know that sometimes traditional treatment do not work for everyone, and it can be a long journey of trial and error. After a long struggle with medication, I found solace in spirituality. Practices like meditation and mindfulness became my guiding light. They brought me a sense of peace and clarity that I have never experienced with medication. I want you to know that there is hope and you can find comfort in spirituality just as I did. Spirituality is about finding inner peace and a connection to something greater than yourself. It's not a replacement for medical treatment, but it has helped me achieve balance and self awareness through practice like meditation, breathing exercises, and journaling and writing. I've been and doing videos. I've been able to calm my mind and manage my emotions. Thank you for listening to my story. If you are going through something similar, please know that you are not alone. There's hope. Spirituality has been a source of strength for me, and I encourage you to explore what resonates with you. Remember, you are not alone in the journey. I know many people feel embarrassed or ashamed when talking about mental health, especially conditions like bipolar disorder, which is a disorder due to you not knowing who you are. That's what it is medically. But I know bipolar as um, the two poles, which is the left brain and the right brain, and schizophrenia. Society often does not make it easy to talk about mental illness without feeling uh, stigmatization. You might worry about what others think or fear being judged or misunderstood. I have been there myself, and I understand how tough it can be to open up about what you're going through. But here is the thing: mental health conditions are just like any other health issues. We do not feel embarrassed about having a broken leg or catching a cold. So, why should we feel embarrassed about having a mental health condition? It is no different. Mental health struggles do not define who we are as people. They are just part of our experience. I want to remind you that it's okay not to have everything figured out. It is okay to seek help, whether through medication, therapy, spiritual practice, or even a combination of all of them. The most important thing is taking steps toward healing. That journey looks different from everyone. You're not alone, and there is no shame in seeking support. As a reminder, I open up this communication platform on Saturdays. It is all about creating a space where people can be honest without fear of judgment. You have that on my platform. I've been doing that for a while now. I don't get people to come in like I would like to. Now, you do not have to hide or be embarrassed about your struggles. You're strong for facing them. You're strong for seeking healing in whatsoever way works for you. And this spirituality has helped you. That is part of your journey. Own it. Do not let fear or shame keep you from finding what works for you and living your truth. You deserve to feel whole and well, and that begins with accepting where you are right now. I rely on my intuition first, but that is me. I am not licensed healthcare profession. So take what resonate with you and what does not resonate with you, put it on the shelf or throw it away. Now, as I said earlier, bipolar refers to two poles. The left hemisphere represent the masculine, and the right hemisphere represent the feminine, which is who you are. You are feminine and masculine, or masculine and feminine, which you prefer. You still the two. However, it's clinically meaning relates more directly to the swings between manic and depressive states medically. The symbolic interpretation is not based on strict scientific distinction, but on how different brain functions and how and have been culturally and metaphorically attributed to feminine and masculine qualities. Under the right feminine and under the left masculine, one might interpret the extreme of bipolar disorder from the manic phase, high energy, goal driven, to the depressive phase, withdrawn emotionally, as a representation of the tension and imbalance between these masculine and feminine qualities. Emotional imbalance might occur when these polarities within a person are out of balance. The emotional extreme of the bipolar disorder might symbolically reflect a disconnection or struggle between these two forces. I found a scripture that I normally, uh, I'm just going to give you the story and then I'm going to have to wrap it up because you guys can finish reading it. First Samuel, it's about King Saul, which was never King Saul, but it's an example of people, what people go through. King Saul is said to have been tormented by an evil spirit, causing him to have mood swings, irrational anger, and fits of depression. Some people see Saul's behavior as potentially indicative of a mental health condition, possibly bipolar disorder. However, the biblical text attribution uh, Saul suffering Saul suffering to a spiritual cause rather than a medical one. Elijah, 1 Kings 19:4-18. Elijah the prophet shows deep despair after fleeing Queen Jezebel threats. After one point, he prays for death, which could be seen as depression thinking. However, after hearing God's voice and being measured, he seemed to regain energy and purpose, showing a dramatic shift in mood. Some interpret this as a de- de- depletion of mood disorder. Thought others may interpret it more as a spiritual crisis. In this view, the depression state might be tied to the Thienemann traits, positivity, passivity, and emotional depth. Um, Passivity means lack of action and resistance. Emotional means experiencing and understanding. The manic state might be associated with masculine and traits of drive, energy, logic, and activity. I'm not going to read any more of that. I just wanted to bring that to your attention and just to give you an idea of scripturally what it could possibly be like. I haven't been uh, bipolar other than I know what's in my brain. Schizophrenia, I have not experienced that. But when you go to a profession, they're logic thinkers. They don't get into the spiritual with you. And so what they do, they listen to your story and they determine what medication they could give you because they consider that to be hallucination when you're talking about the spiritual part of yourself. That's just what they do. It didn't help me any. All I needed for my problem was to understand why I was seeing things that was there, why I was hearing things that was true, and there was nobody around at the time to accommodate me with that. But once uh, I settled down and started praying, and that's what I did at that time, I actually started getting my answers, and so here I am today. So what helps me today is that I do a lot of journaling. I've been journaling for years now. I enjoy when I tell you I enjoy doing the videos. I enjoy doing the videos, and also I also have picked up what I actually graduated from school for, which is doing these uh, uh, these flip charts. I enjoy doing them. Uh, I enjoy doing my exercise. I exercise every day. I don't go out every day, but it's much more peaceful than what I was experiencing medically. And I want to reinforce one of the things that I see that, like I was telling my son, you have to have somebody to talk to. Um, for me, I didn't have anybody. But you guys have people that you can talk to that's not going to judge you for what you say to them. Um, Go and sit with them or go and see a professional. Uh, they at least listen to you, and they will try to accommodate you by giving you medication, which wasn't for me. But it might be for you. Whatever it is that takes it takes to calm you to a place of peace, then I wouldn't have a problem with it. Now, am I saying professions are not uh, uh, good for me? No, I go to the profession. Actually, I went the other day, and when I went, there was a young intern there, and he wanted to know my story. When I told him my story, and then I also told him my spiritual part. His recommendation was I go back and see a professional. Now, and that's what they do because that's all they can relate to. Some professionals are not spiritual, and they don't seek spirituality because they're not taught that. And so as a result, all they do is focus on what they know, which you can't blame them. You can't be upset with them. That is who they are, and I am who I am, and I focus on me and where I'm going, where I am mentally. I don't let that discourage me because I've had some experiences, and I've had some experiences enough to know that there is something greater than myself that has watched over me, that has helped me in everything that I do. So I'm not trying to say that there's no God. Not at all. I do know this, that God works through professions as well as regular people. I know that too. But you have to be one that discern. You have to discern because there are some people out there that just don't care. So anyway, you guys can finish reading the flip charts that I put out, and I hope you get something out of it. Have a good one, people.